ball, 2 against 2 as Radford and Kidd take on Webber and McClintock. Here's Kidd. Played back for Story. Inside for Kelly. Radford calling for it on the far side. And Kelly beaten away by Gillard. Now Don Givens with Rogers up. And a chance now for Rangers to break. Rogers. He's taken on too much, and Story really went piling into him there. The throw given to Aresnal, and here they come again with Armstrong. The long sweeping ball towards John Radford. Beaten in the air by Clement. It's a good game. Bowles. Well, that was more tangling, rough and tumble tangling than anything that was anything other than silly. With Bowles the guilty man, and a free kick to Aresnal, and away they go again with Radford making a good run down the left for them. McClintock's got to get up quickly over his own head, but there's Armstrong. Now there's a chance for a cross by Aresnal, and that time it was Gillard who headed it away. Thomas is in there, so too is Story. Rogers trying to make something of it but can't. 30 seconds to go. Radford in space on the far side. Armstrong up there with him. Kidd calling for it in the air. And Leach heading it away powerfully for Rangers. Referee looking at his watch. Gordon Hill. Referee with his usual understanding today. Ball when it called for him, the whistle had gone. And that is the final whistle. And it finishes as a 2-2 draw. Aresnal being saved right in the end by that goal from John Radford. So Kidd having scored the early goal for Aresnal to put them into the lead. 2 goals in the second half quite early on by Stan Bowles. One with a beautifully placed shot and the other with a penalty. And then Aresnal, as I say, saved right at the end by that shot from John Radford, number 9. And so we have a final scoreline at Highbury, which reads Aresnal 2, Queen's Park Rangers 2.
So Arsenal in fact climb away from bottom place in the First Division with that point, a bottom place that is now filled by their arch rival Spurs. And interesting to note that of course that Spurs play Arsenal at White Hart Lane next Saturday afternoon. But now let's meet our 2 guests today, Alan Ball of Arsenal and the man who scored both the goals for Rangers yesterday, Stan Bowles. And I think the first thing we must do, gentlemen, is to clear up an incident that all the fans have seen already and the papers picked up again this morning pictorially. This one here, right early in the game. Alan, what was all this about now? Eddie Kelly injured there, but here's the incident we're talking about. There. Alan?
He's got the one out again, the left foot. I went to pick him up there and he was obviously upset with me for tackling him like that.
Why was that, Stan?
Well, it was early in the game and I've got a bad left ankle, and Alan caught me right at the bottom of my left ankle, and I was a bit annoyed at the time, you know. Is
there any sort of lasting animosity between you? I mean, you seem fairly relaxed and friendly in the studio today, but I mean, is this something that's been going on?
No, whatsoever. He's a good player. You've got to... There's ways and means of getting at players, you know. You've got to try and upset them a little bit, you know, and you've got to try to do things to them to... People do it to me, it's all part of the game, you know, and you've got to give them a whack now and again. And
is that what you were doing yesterday? You were trying to unsettle?
We talk to people, yeah, you do things like, they call it professionalism, whatever. Things go on the pitch that people don't know about, and you set your soul out to sort of upset people. People upset me, and you sort of talk to them and get onto them and try to put them off the game, you know.
Did it upset you yesterday?
Well, it did really, because Frank McClintock did say after the game, actually, he said, you know, Alan didn't mean, you know, what he was saying to you. He said he was just trying to get you at it. Because I class myself as a good friend of Alan's. We go out and have a drink together. And I must admit, I was a little bit upset. I thought he meant it at the time.
Didn't stop him turning the 10 mile, did it?
What did Gordon Hill, the referee, say about it all? I mean, he was having a really sharp word with the pair of you, wasn't he?
He just said a million things and nothing really about what was going on, what it was about. He was great. I think he's a good referee, and he was sort of saying it's a nice day, it's terrific, and this and get on with your game, the pair of you, you know.
Lovely.
I think he wanted to calm everything down, and he did the right thing at the right time.
It was a disappointing day for Arsenal to a certain extent, Alan, and particularly when you went behind with that penalty. John Radford, talking to me in World of Sport afterwards, said that he thought it was a good penalty and should have been a penalty. We'll have a look at it again now. Peter Story coming in from the left-hand side there. I think that's where the contact is made, a brushing contact, but you had no doubt, Stan, did you?
No, I thought that's looking at the camera there, it does look like Story, but I thought it was number 5 who brought me down.
No, I think it was
In the
Peter
actual
Story.
game.
But when you came to take the penalty, the crowd were really getting onto you. They'd been getting onto you for a long time. What were your thoughts at that moment there? Were they unsettling you?
No, I was having a laugh with them at that time. I was just laughing at them, they were booing me and all that, you know, but I was just laughing. I was a bit nervous actually there. I thought, you know, if I miss it, I'm in for more stick, but luckily enough I hit it right. Went in.
Alan, we've said a disappointing time for Arsenal. Can you see now that they're beginning to get out of their troubles? They showed a lot of character after being down and coming back and getting that late equaliser.
I'm glad. I'm glad you've noticed that and seen that. We've been struggling. We've had a lot of injuries. That's not an excuse. Yesterday was a great thing for the lads and a great thing for the fans, I think, because we fought back. We didn't get our heads down. When you're struggling, there's only one way to get everything going again. That's all of you to marry together and try to pull out of something that individuals can't get you out of. And the team, the spectators, all at the club, if we're prepared to do this, and I thought yesterday we all sort of got together and decided, right, we're going to start from today. We didn't play particularly well. There's lots of incidents, but the way we fought and the way we got down to basics and the way we wanted to put something right, and I thought that was a great thing yesterday, the Arsenal team and indeed the spectators.
And it all came right with that goal from John Radford 2 minutes or so from the end.
Well, they say fortune favours the brave, and
Indeed.
I think at the end of the day, I think she smiled on us with the last goal.
Jimmy Rimmer's long kick. Rangers fans, or at least Rangers players, thought there might have been a suspicion of a handball by Brian Kidd. Coming up in just a moment now, but I think the camera proves that there wasn't. With that jump there, they thought there was a handball, but he gets his head to that. They wondered whether he hit it there, which he didn't. What about that for a ball, Alan?
Great goal, wasn't it?
And Radford catching it on the volley.
Good strike. It was a great
Beautiful.
strike. Yeah.
In fact, we can see now that it was finished 2-2, but it might have even finished more than that. But Phil Parkes on a couple of occasions foiled you, and you looked as though you'd got yourself into good scoring positions. He had a superb game.
He did. The first one, it was a terrible miss by me. I changed my mind. I went to chest it, and I finished up shutting my eyes and did a terrible header. But you know, I wouldn't give him a lot of credit for that. That was a bad miss by me.
Back pass up.
Yeah, it was a nice mellow header. This one, I went through. I thought, well, I'll slot it under his body as he came out at me. He didn't give me a lot to shoot at, as you can see. He shut the angle off well. Not to make any excuses for myself. I thought I'd just slip it under his body as he came out. But he didn't start with his hands. He did sort of on the side of his tummy.
Stan, let's come to you now. One of the newspapers today, I think it's the Sunday Mirror, said Stan the Magic Man, and a lot of your play in the second half particularly was magical. Was that as good as you've played all season?
Yes, that's the best I've played this season. I've not been playing too well. I played quite well in midweek in the 4-0 defeat by Newcastle, but that's my best game by far.
Is that you're getting on top of the problems you've had, or what?
Yeah, for the first time in my life, probably the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I was letting outside problems affect my game probably, but now I'm getting rid of those problems and just getting down to playing football.
You see, I'm sure the Rangers fans there yesterday and neutrals everywhere were really delighted with the way you played. I know Les Cocker, Don Revie's right-hand man, was there as well. And yet they are mystified as to how it is that you have these little things in your career where, you know, you don't turn up or you miss training or whatever. Can you explain that?
No, I can't really. At the time, I think whatever I do is right and I just do it.
And yet it upsets people who want to support you. They want to say Stan Bowles is great and he's good for England, and yet they're worried about, you know, your behaviour in these sort of matters. Are you putting this behind you now?
Well, I think so, yeah. Only time will tell, obviously, but I think so.
Because you're off the list now, aren't you, at QPR?
Off the list, yeah.
Do you intend to stay off the list?
Yes, I intend to stay off the list this time, yeah, for definite.
Have you got your eyes on this match against Czechoslovakia coming up later this month?
Well, as I say, I haven't been playing too well, you know, and really that's the first time I've put it all together yesterday. So I wouldn't really be, you know, hoping, but I'm not